Hello, I'm Manuel, and today I'm gonna talk about a new update of the Bodynodes project, and in particular the possibility of finally take one-shot recordings with a full suite Bodynodes. This is all thanks to a new node that has been added to the system, which is called the Wifi SuperNode or Wifi SNode. But before understanding why do we need this, let's do this step by step and start from the beginning. So before, in the typical Wi-Fi Bodynodes network, you only had two actors. You had the nodes and you had the host. The nodes would get data from their sensor and send it to the host, and this host will just get all this data, use it somehow, and then send back some actions to the nodes to be performed. The problem with this approach is that most of the hosts have actually limitations on the maximum number of connections they can have at the same time to their access point or hotspot or Wi-Fi. So considering that, for example, on a Windows, you can have at maximum 8 devices connect to its hotspot, and considering that Bodynodes full suite is composed by 11 nodes, this meant that it was basically not possible to have a one-shot recording of a full suite because some nodes would not be able to connect. So the first solution that I could come up with was basically the simple solution. Instead of taking all the recording at the same time, let's take multiple recordings of different sets of the with different nodes, and then try to put everything together. So for example, I had two sets. I had the upper body set and the lower body nodes set, and then I would basically take the recordings of the same action at least twice. Then I would play these recordings and then try to put them together. The problem with this approach is that it was very time consuming because you would have to take multiple recordings of the same actions. On top of that, the recordings would not be perfect, would probably most of the time were not really matching with each other. So it needed some post-processing and some syncing between the two sets of data. But luckily, in the end, it would work. And I also made the software to work also in these scenarios. But the thing is that I knew that I could do better. And therefore, I came up with a new solution. And the solution was using intermediate nodes to try to reduce the number of connections that are actually required on the host. So I created a Wi-Fi SuperNode or Wi-Fi SNode. The Wi-Fi SNode is just another node, but on top of that, it can create its own access point so that other nodes can connect to it. So the SNode, it has its own access point. It has also its own sensor that it collects data from. It collects data from other nodes that are connected to the access point. It will put everything together and then send it to the host. So finally, I organized the full suite into sets, into networks actually. You have the upper body network and the lower body network. The upper body network is composed by upper body SNode and upper body nodes connect to it. The lower body network is composed by a lower body SNode with lower body nodes connect to it. And then what you would have is to have the two SNodes connected directly to the Wi-Fi of the host. Meaning that on the host there are only two connections, while on each of the SNode there are 4-5 nodes connected to it. And therefore solved all the problem, and we would get a full suite recording available at every time, at the same time. So what was the end result of this? First of all, finally the possibility to take one-shot recordings instead of multiple recordings of the same action. So this saves a lot of time. But on top of that, also the results are much better. Why? Because the data that is collected by this system, it's inherently synced together. You don't have to post-process the data coming from different parts of the body afterwards and try to sync it together. It's already done it by itself, but how the system works. So this was actually what I wanted to talk about in this video. It was just an update of the basically about the Wi-Fi SNodes in the Bodynodes Wi-Fi network. If you enjoyed this video, please put a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. If you like this video, there is a higher chance it gets suggested to others, and then maybe someone else, you know, might look at it and, you know, might see something different on YouTube for once. And if you have any questions, just put them down below. I will answer it. And if you want to support actively this project, you can do it. You can become my patron, and the link of my Patreon page is in the description of the video down below. After said this, thanks you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. See you. Bye.